Alright, so we got our casting clean. We are now going to assemble our pump. Actually, I need to drive a seal in. Alright, so we got our seal, and just for some extra insurance, I take a little assembly and I'll put it across from each other. I've had this spring pop out on me a few times. That's in the back of this lip. Can you see it? So I take a transmission assembly lube, green, stick a little in there. And I'm being a little lazy. Instead of going to get a driver, we're going to use a block of wood. This table's got a little bounce to it. That's flush. That's me. Alright, let me blow this off real quick. Alright, let's get our pump assembled. Alright. I'm going to use transmission fluid to actually lubricate this. I know some guys pack these, but I don't. Alright, get some on that slide pin. Alright, good enough. Install a vane guide. I'm going to lubricate our rotor. I apologize. I'm going to start with our rotor. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, see, we got a marking on the front of our slide and a marking on the front of our rotor. Those markings face us. Put in our slide. We're also going to put in our slide spring. Now, when I took this apart, the flat on the bottom of this was facing the bottom. So that's how I'm going to reinstall it. And I think this one I can just do by hand. Nope, I'm going to need a screwdriver. Alright, so we got our slide spring in. Now, I'm not actually sure the technical name of it. I can't remember it. But in transmissions, we call it a wipe. I really need a pick, but it's alright. And then in this one, it's got these little springs. They're using to tension that wipe. Okay, that's as far as it goes. There's one. There's number 2. just like that. Now that we have those in there, we can install a vein guide. Vein guide. And now our rotor. I'm going to lubricate everything. And remember, our dot goes up. So we'll install our rotor. Have another vein guide. And now we can install our vanes. Try and dry them off. And I power wash my casting. And my pump parts, I washed in a small solvent washer with mineral spirits. Alright, let's install our vanes. So the smooth side goes towards the slide. The back side, you can see the contact points where it contacts the rotor. We're going to go through. When you're putting these in, make sure they're flush, because on the bottom side they'll kind of get hung up because there's a vein guide ring on the bottom and they'll set on the top of it. So you got to make sure they're flush with the rotor. See, that one's trying to set on top of it. You may have to wiggle it around, try to get that ring to go down a little bit. Okay. Alright, they are all flush. Looks good to me. I'm going to prime it a little bit. I'm trying not to spin this pump much because I don't want it all leaking out the bottom. Now we're going to install our cover. And the torque spec I found on these was 5 foot-pounds. Go through, get these started. Alright, pause it. Let me run all these in. Alright, I got my bolts ran down. So, the only torque wrench I got with me right now is a 1/2-inch drive. So I converted it over to inch pounds. 5 foot-pounds, 60 inch-pounds. we go. Well, I guess that concludes our timing cover assembly.